Good evening. Welcome to the City Council regular meeting, June 15th at 6:15. Roll call, please.
Coffee.
Here.
Bledsoe.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Davis. Coldern.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
O'Shea. Wortham.
We have a quorum. Tonight we have Pastor Durham for our invocation. Would you do us a favor and give us an invocation this evening?
Yes, sir. Let's pray.
Thank you.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you humble as in Ohio. We do thank you, Lord, for these people representing our community. God, we thank you, God, for them willing to make decisions for our community. God, as we get ready to celebrate as a country, celebrating 250 years as a republic, God, we are thankful, God, that you put your hand in establishing that. I do pray, Lord, that you'll give them wisdom, as it says in James, if we lack wisdom, let them ask of God. That you give them wisdom in making all the decisions. And God, we thank you, God, for our community. God, may you continue to put a hedge of protection around it. And God, may we just be a shining light in the community. God, we'll thank you. We praise you. For in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, I got you. If you don't mind, tonight's also community night and report. So if you'd like to give a little report on how the church
Can I
is
do
going.
the church and the pantry?
You can do
Real
both.
quick?
Yep,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Okay. At the church, we're doing okay. This month, we're actually calling it June Jubilee, and we're meeting on Tuesday nights instead of our regular Wednesday night. And we're calling it Together Tuesdays because the Bible says striving together. So we got 4 different pastors coming in of Like Faith, coming in each Tuesday night, coming from Midwest City, some from Oklahoma City, got one coming from Walton. The food pantry is going really well. We do have volunteers coming back now. Our numbers are back up. Last month we averaged about 112, and last year we averaged about 122 families at a month. And we have talked to the PMA because we're kind of under the PMA, and then also as a board, in July we are going to start reaching out to Lucene because there's some in Lucene that doesn't have any food help as far as that goes. A lot of others, Morrison has some help in other places. So we're reaching out to Lucene, so we look like our numbers will probably go up there. We just get our generator hooked up and all that this week, so we are thankful for that. So if we don't have power, or we don't lose food, it's the frozen foods and things of that nature. So it's going well at the pantry, and new sign, if you haven't went by, there's a sign, and landscape, and so we're just thankful for all that the community does and helps us in the food pantry. So thank y'all so much. Thank y'all community too. Appreciate y'all meeting on that, so that's great. So thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Appreciate it.
Good. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good evening.
You too. Thank you. All right, council. We are going to rearrange a little bit here, but we'll go through item 1, consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall. Yes. Coldern.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
I know that's
All right. We'll skip to item 4, comments from those assembled. I don't see any. So we'll move on to proclamations, commendations, reports, inquiries by the governing body. And let's start with Mr. Coffey if you have anything.
Proclamation.
Reports.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if you've got a proclamation, go ahead.
No, the only thing is I've seen some work on 8th Street with the streets department as far as putting concrete down. That's encouraging to see that street finally getting some attention. So kudos to the street department. So that's it.
I don't have anything.
Sure. All right. Joe?
I don't have anything.
Yep.
I've had several people come to me and say that they're starting to see notices up on vacant and dilapidated houses. And they were very excited about that. So
I saw one today.
thank you to those people that are taking care of that.
Awesome. Okay, I think one thing I'll mention is tomorrow's voting day. Ask that everyone get out and vote and do their part. Last day for the primaries. All right. Now what we'll do is we will skip all the way down to item 15 strategic plan update, and tonight is our community meeting and reports. And we have several people here with us from the community and several entities. So I'd like to start with Katie, and if you don't mind, for anybody new listening, introduce yourself and tell us who you're with and
Sure.
give us your report.
Okay, perfect. My name's Katie Karras. I'm the CEO of the Perry Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for letting me be here this evening. One thing that I tried to do when I was working on Q2's report presentation for you all was kind of doing a side-by-side comparison of the work that the Chamber has done this past quarter and honestly our goals for this year, and making sure that we're aligning with the city's strategic plan. So as a chamber, we've continued shaping our priorities and programming, and we've really worked to align those efforts with the city's strategic goals, focusing on the areas of quality of life, economic development, communication, tourism, and community engagement, which were all key pieces of the city's strategic plan. This quarter, we continued focusing on business engagement, event programming, and economic development collaboration. That kind of felt like the areas where our focus was this quarter. One clear alignment in the city's emphasis on expanding community activities and destinations. During Q2, the Chamber hosted several successful events, including our women's class that we held, and also Springfest. We were encouraged that Springfest this year grew from 60 participants last year to 82 this year, so that was exciting to see. I still would like to pull the Placer AI data on that and see how many, not just car show participants, but community members came that day, and compare that to last year. It definitely felt more full, even in spite of the bad weather that we were dealing with. So that was encouraging to see, and we just are constantly working on gathering feedback from attendees to try to make that event better and better every year. Right now we're continuing preparations for Cherokee Strip Celebration, which honestly we start planning the day that it ends. So we've already kind of had some things in the works for that. That includes vendor coordination and sponsorships, and then entertainment booking. We've got a really exciting guest coming this year to be our main entertainment, who was featured on The Voice recently. So we're hoping that that will draw more attendees if we have kind of a big headliner on our billing that day. These events all help to strengthen community pride, support local business, and bring visitors to Perry, which is ultimately our goal. We also continued supporting the city's goals related to strengthening the tax base and increasing commerce and tourism. The Chamber added 3 new members this quarter, bringing our total membership to 198 businesses and organizations. I would like to point out that our Chamber members are not only businesses. There are a lot of local community members who have joined individually. There are a lot of nonprofits in our community that are also a part of our Chamber membership, and it's just neat to see support coming from each of those different places for our Chamber and for our community. We've continued building relationships with regional partners like Heartland Forward, working with Main Street of Perry, OCCE, which is the Chamber of Commerce Executives organization in Oklahoma, and economic development organizations to help position Perry for future growth opportunities. Another area where our work strongly aligns with the city's plan is communication and feedback. And in July, Melanie and myself are kind of co-hosting a Perry Business Roundtable that we're both really excited about. The goal of this roundtable is to gather direct input from local businesses regarding workforce concerns, infrastructure needs, operational challenges, and opportunities for growth. That feedback will help guide future Chamber initiatives while also contributing to broader conversations about Perry's long-term development. So we're really hoping that that helps give us some insight into our business community and things that they'd like to see, things they're struggling with, ultimately so that the Chamber can learn how to support our members better. We've also continued expanding our communication and visibility efforts through social media campaigns. We're always trying to do member spotlights and tourism promotion here in Perry, and community engagement initiatives to get our citizens and businesses involved. So as we move into Q3, our priorities remain focused on supporting local businesses and strengthening partnerships, promoting Perry through community events and tourism efforts, and continuing to collaborate on economic development work both with the city and with Main Street and Melanie also. So we do appreciate the city's continued partnership and support, and we look forward to continuing to work alongside the city of Perry to help achieve the long-term goals that are outlined in your strategic plan. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Questions? I didn't mention it, but if there's anything we can do to help you guys in your plans going forward too, feel free to talk about those as well as we go through. It's kind of why we all want to get together. So Melanie, I'll turn it over to you.
So I also did a printout of what I'm going to go over if council wants a copy. You want to take one, or I can pass them out?
Give them
Melanie McGuire, worked with the City of Perry on contract for economic development initiatives and grant writing and identification. So strategic initiative number 1, enhancing quality of life. So the projects that I'm working on that fit with this initiative are going to be the collaborative project with the courthouse square improvement. We're still on pace to be able to send out the bid package in July, hopefully, and hope to have this phase 1 done in 2026. We are working on kind of phase 2 with GH2 to figure out what we're going to include in that, and then also working with Laura to determine what the funding sources will be for that. Business recruitment and incentives, so working with not only the City of Perry but Main Street on some of their incentive programs and trying to recruit businesses for the downtown area. One new one that I've started working on is railroad mobility improvements. So the quiet zone, the railroad quiet zone. So I've been given the mass amount of things that we have to do to qualify for a quiet zone from Nate. And so I'm working through that list to see like what else we can do and identify the funding sources that are out there that might help us to bring that to fruition. I know that we love the trains, we just don't want to listen to them. So if we can make that happen, it'll be a win-win, I think. So expanding community activities and destinations. So I mentioned before the improvements that will be happening out at CCC Lake. Again, that phase 1 is going to be boathouse upgrades and some shoreline cleanup. And that will be completed in 2026. With future projects that we're looking at as far as controlled burns, there's also installation of a new dock, a potential reuse of a historic bridge that's on the National Registry. So that was a neat piece of that we might be able to bring to CCC Lake, and then improvements to Camp Tandaco. I'm also working with Patty, the Parks Director, on municipal pool development. So looking at the current pool and designing what the new pool might look like and identifying the funding sources for that too. I think we all love the municipal pool, but I think it's served its time and we need to be looking at what the new structure might look like in our community. Strategic initiative number 2, so strengthening the tax base. So some things that I've worked on as far as that initiative is conducting follow-up activities and implementing next steps from our ICSC visit out in Vegas that we did. So meeting with those retailers and those developers, we're working to recruit the businesses that will come along the I-35 corridor, but we've got to figure out who's going to come, where they want to be, and the incentives that it's going to take to get them here. Actively recruiting new businesses and developing opportunities while supporting the growth and expansion of existing local businesses. And then I'm also collaborating with community partners and organizations to improve the coordination and increase efficiency and reduce the duplication efforts. So strategic initiative number 3, improving the communication. Like Katie said, her and I are working on the business roundtable where we're going to focus on the local businesses and what their needs are, the pain points, and how we can better serve the businesses in our community. Reviewing the community survey results that the city sent out, and how we can incorporate that for current and future initiatives. Continuing to collaborate with regional partners through meetings, conferences, summits to promote Perry's success and identify opportunities for partnership and growth. And participating in regional marketing initiative across northern Oklahoma. So I sat through a call with the economic development arm of Enid, and she talked about the potential for an economic impact from the Olympics of 2028. So we're going to work on a regional promotion for tourism. We're going to see a lot of people coming into our state in 2028, and I think it's an opportunity for us to work with our surrounding communities where we can showcase, what we have to offer. The Olympics is going to be a huge impact to Oklahoma, and there'll be several days within there that people might go to an event or be here for the actual events in Oklahoma City, and they'll have some time on their hands. We want to be able to showcase all the stops along the way in northern Oklahoma that you can visit, from Guthrie all the way to Enid. So that's going to be an exciting project for us to work on with them. Strategic initiative number 4, expanding housing opportunities. So still evaluating the current housing development plans and identifying funding opportunities to support the residential growth. Meeting with prospective developers to discuss available properties and community needs, with an emphasis on entry-level workforce housing, multifamily housing developments, and housing options for aging residents. So talking with our current our current partners in, our aging population, and what do we have as far as nursing home facilities, assisted living, things of that nature. So we need to be able to expand that, I think, for our residents, and so having those discussions with, potential partners, I think, is important. And then reviewing existing housing inventory and identifying programs that can support rehabilitation efforts and increase the overall housing availability. Strategic initiative number 5, the infrastructure. So just continuing to identify and manage grant funding opportunities needed to support these improvements. And so with my approach, I still meet with Nate every other week to talk about the current grant funding that we have out there, manage the full life cycle of the grants that are submitted, and even afterwards, making sure they're closed out properly, making sure Christy has access to all of the files that she needs for auditing purposes. We still have several of our grants that are still outstanding. So the opioid abatement grant, the fire department grant is still outstanding. So we're eagerly awaiting those awards to come out, hopefully sooner rather than later. But that's all I have for now.
Sure, that's all?
Sorry.
Well, that's a lot.
Questions?
So you mentioned the courthouse phase 1, and then you said something about trying to
Phase two.
figure out funding source.
For phase 2.
Oh, so
So
for
we
phase
have,
two, okay.
we have phase 1 secured, and basically the relocation of the parking lot, that's funded.
Okay.
So along with the Main Street Incentive Program that Laura has access to, what other funding sources can we identify and go after, whether the city of Perry can apply for those or if it has to be a nonprofit. So looking at what the funding sources are available and how we can apply for those.
And Phase 1 had a deadline too, right?
The end of 2026. We have to have spent that money and be done with construction by the end of 26. But honestly,
It's not moving fast enough.
it's really,
for us.
it's not, but we're just hoping to not have everything torn up during 16th celebration.
Sure.
But phase 1 is closing the road to the middle and putting the parking lot on the south.
Correct.
And phase 2 was,
We're still working with GH2 to identify exactly what all is going to be encompassed in that. I mean, I honestly think it'll be sidewalks and lighting, but we need to look at that price tag too and see what funding we're going to have to go after that as well.
lots of exciting stuff.
Yeah.
The boathouse at CCC Lake, what are some of the upgrades that you hope to do?
So there's some upgrades to the boathouse as far as there's a lot of wood that's just deteriorated over time. So there's going to be some rewrapping of some columns. I mean, it's still on the National Registry, so we want to keep everything as intact as we can. Also, there's like storage rooms on either side and then in that middle portion. So working on just securing it to where you can use it a little bit more. I know that not campfire, but what are they now?
Yeah.
Yes.
And those people.
They utilize that and want to be able to lock it sometimes when they're having camp, and we want to be able to add a door back onto there so we can, secure it from the outside and make it more usable. So just some light upgrades, but also make it to where you can have more activities. I know that the Nova County Conservation District had a 5th and 6th grade field day out there at the end of last year in May, and it was wildly successful as far as from the conservation side. They brought all the students out there and showed them all types of different plants and things. And so to be able to utilize that more in an outdoor classroom type setting is our main goal.
And these guys get tired of hearing me say it, but I understand the housing priorities that are on this list.
Correct.
But I would love to see a neighborhood in or near Perry that looked like the neighborhood west of Morrison.
Larger lot.
Larger lots, larger homes. And if they can attract 75 homes in that addition, we can surely attract a few to Perry with the interstate right here.
Right. I think the difference there is those are going to be a little bit higher of a price tag. Not that we don't need those and those aren't successful either, but we need some entry-level housing. We need multifamily housing. We need kind of everything. And so we're having those discussions to attract all types of housing, but it will come.
Thank you.
I'm Maddie Flores. I'm the director of the Cherokee Strip Museum here in Perry. I was just going to take the talking space to talk about the points that I believe we're going to collaborate with the city and Main Street and the chamber on in coordination to our strategic plan, which don't want to be incredibly vague, but we are very much knees deep in our strategic plan committee meetings right now. Tomorrow will be our third meeting, and we're just asking ourselves very important questions, really taking a hard look into what we want the next 3 to 5 years to look like, and even the next 100 years, what do we look like? So we're really taking a good look in the mirror and thinking about how we just want this to pan out, especially over the next 3 to 5 years, and how we can propel ourselves forward with these developments that are currently going on. And specifically from a tourism and a recreational standpoint, we think that with our mission and our history, we have so much to share, and we want to be able to do a better job of doing that and making it more visible, because we do have so much, and we don't want to be contained to our building and just our programs we have. So our location is ideal. We believe that we can draw tourism in by expanding in a recreational way to attract those people off of Loves and pull them into our community through our mission and our history. That's a strong thing we're looking at. That's probably our number one. So as to exactly how these things are going to look right now, I will probably have some concrete things for you guys next meeting. And just an example, we really want, and this is outside of recreation, but we want to be a little bit more forward-facing on the square. Whether that's we expand and have some kind of collaboration with a business and have exhibits in a building, or that we don't know how that looks yet, but that's what we want that, and to be permanent so people can see our history and our story from the square as well. So that's another thing. Expansion is heavy on our minds as well. And we're working with you all on the access road, of course, with new businesses. So we're gonna just try to think about how we can pivot into a growth mindset around all of these things, but also how do we preserve our identity and our historical charm. So there's just many things right now that we're trying to pull together. So I'm sorry to be vague, but next meeting, I believe we'll have some better plans put into motion, but we have some strong ideas that we're ready to act on, so.
Looking forward to it. Any questions?
The parking lot.
Yeah, so I don't talk about that because
Okay.
we don't have.
Sorry, I'll take that back.
It's gonna go away if you don't talk about it.
There are many things that we cannot control for our organization. As you know, the state owns our property and our buildings and our possessions. They have a very great master plan for expanding parking lots and doing a beautiful plaza, and it is a set in stone plan. But there is zero timeline. There's 20 sites to be worked on, and I think they're on number 4 right now. So we're ways down the line. We're probably like 17 out of 20 if I were to guess. So once we get closer, I'm excited to talk about that with you all, but it could be a few years. So we'll talk about that when it gets a little closer.
Are there any keys that would move you to the list, or is it pretty much up to list, or is it set in stone?
No, it's pretty set in stone. Since being that we're affiliates of the state of Oklahoma, it's just kind of an interesting position to be in. We have a lot of freedom to do our own programming and staffing and all of those things, but at the end of the day, it's their plans. Of course, they want to work with us on what we need and how things might benefit, but they kind of have their list of priorities to work down is what it comes down to. So any other questions? Well, thank you all. We really appreciate your consideration and thinking about us and all of your strategizing, and we're always open to the ideas, especially during this time. So thank you all.
I think something downtown would be exciting, even if it was a small display in a coffee shop or something, because those are the kinds of things that really excite people when they come to your town and see it.
Carol actually stopped in my office yesterday and asked if we would be willing to put a display case at the chamber. And I told her I thought it was a wonderful idea because we get people dropping into the chamber for a whole host of reasons. I mean, I could make a list 10 pages long of the inquiries we get. But I've been in other chambers in other cities that have historical artifact display cases, and I think it'd be a great place to put one. So I hope we get to have one.
And check that off the list. Sounds like a great deal.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm last, and I'll try to go quick. Laura Vollmer with Main Street, and I'll go through a few different of our things we have coming up, and as to tie it back, I think last year I was here and kind of tied in some of our things to the strategic plan when I came last year in June. And really we hit a lot on the quality of life and the housing and the communication and a little bit of the strengthening the tax base, the infrastructure piece, not so much, but just different things that we have going on maybe could with different buildings and different people that are doing work. We really kind of capitalized on the 250th celebration of America this year, and so I was going to pass these out. You guys can take and put them up. We have lots of different activities on Saturday, June 27th. As you go through, we have a fun run and a 5K and vendors and a live band and food trucks, and the comeback is sponsoring a hot dog eating contest, and then the event wraps up around 2. We have lots of different things downtown, all free of course, so we really want everybody to come down. We've put up new banners around the downtown. We do have lots of like other little banners that we're gonna put out around town that are finished. We just haven't got them out, and then we do have some big banners out. So this is gonna be more of our summer event that we usually do, and so we're just kind of making it more patriotic. We will have our lemonade stands on the weekend of local in July. I think last year we actually partnered with Thorns when they did their Crazy Day sales, and so we might do that again, which kind of alters the date a little bit. We do have our Meet a Maroon event August 6th. We are gonna have the street dance in September again, and our banquet, and then I think our fall event, we're kind of making some changes to it, so I don't have like all the details on that, but it'll be something in October. We are still working on all of our grant programs, our facade and beautification grant. We're working with Old Home Rescue, and they've done a 2 design drawings. They've came and they've done the site visit, but we haven't seen back what it's going to be yet. But they did one on the Starling Miller building, and then on not the entrance to the city hall, but the other one, the second one. So both of those are part of our facade grant program, and we're anxiously waiting. We did find a really cool picture of the city hall. I found it in a drawer. I don't know if you guys had seen it, but I attached it to the end of my report. So if you scroll down, you can see it, and it shows those really cool windows, and it shows some cool horses and trailers that I just thought was neat. And then we have also met with them on the Folk Art building. It needs HSR, which is a historic structure report, and that is a report that they could go in and tell us everything that it needs done from the interior to the exterior in order to get it like back into like a good space where it's like structurally sound, and it could be very expensive, so we haven't moved forward with that yet. A few other things we had going on, we did work with Melanie. She was able to set up an impact video for the Malzahn Family Affiliated Fund, and it was very well received. We feel like it's always hard to show the impact that they make just with the actual like reports that we send back. So we did a video, the city, the school, Main Street, and the Y, and it was emotional. I'm not gonna say that like I think I might have cried. I hope I made somebody else cry, because I really feel like their impact that they have on us is so huge, and it was for the family. It was for the whole family that meets every summer, so they can all actually see like what the impact of it is, other than just like seeing a report. And so I think we have plans to maybe release it to everybody at some point, but
Yeah, I mentioned that to Rick, it just would be nice to be able to show that in the community, and he agreed. And so I can share that just at least for you guys to watch it, because it's wonderful to watch, and Spencer Tennick helped with that, and he's an amazing person as far as the videography or whatever. And so at least you guys can see it, and we can make a plan to figure out how to push that out.
it was really impactful, and I'm glad we got to do that. Another thing, the Oklahoma City Memorial Museum reached out, and they are a site for the American Conversation Project, and it's a national initiative documenting American hopes and experiences and perspectives as the nation approaches its 250th anniversary. They are conducting facilitated 60 to 90-minute conversations across Oklahoma, and they are interested in our community because of our commitment to community enrichment and civic engagement. They reached out, and so we're trying to get together 6 people to do that, and so we're excited about that. As we go down to, we still have our 4 committees that continue to meet and work on our promotions committee, design committee. Our economic vitality committee is still currently has business grants, and we have 2 new potential grants, and one of them are potential applicants that we've been meeting with, and one of them is interested in some downtown housing. So the conversations are there. We're presenting it to people over and over and over. We're just like ready for somebody to be excited and want to do it. So the opportunities are there, and the people are coming to us. So we're hoping that somebody comes along. And then we do have another downtown restaurant that has lots of potential that we're still continuing that conversation with. Recently, our organization committee held our annual golf tournament in the beginning of May, and that was very successful. And so, other than that, that is all the things that we have coming up that we haven't already reported on. So, if anybody has any questions or suggestions or ideas, anything we should be doing, let me know.
One thing I seen you had working on, I guess my question is advertising. Is there any type of initiative to draw people to the downtown? I mean, we don't have signage to tell that there's things going on.
Yeah, so we explored that with somebody, and I can't remember who it was, Johnson and Johnson, yeah. And they kind of gave us like a big master plan of what it would be to like add more signage, and I kind of think that was a conversation that we had with Nate and the chamber of like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it citywide. Let's not just like do the downtown where you can wayfind around the downtown. I think it needs to be like unified across the community. So like where if you were gonna find the fairgrounds or find the baseball field or find, you know, something, or the library, and find the downtown, that they all like match. So we have had that conversation, and I do feel like that's something that is definitely needed.
So it's a cohesive branding campaign, but it's also like the physical attributes too. So beautification as far as from I-35 to downtown, but then also incorporating, you know, the wayfinding, and then also from a marketing perspective, how each organization is promoting their stuff. How does it streamline and look the same? You think of like the Visit Stillwater promotion that they have. You know, each organization kind of uses that same logo, so to speak. We want to be able to do something like that, but I think it was $20,000 maybe to do that full branding campaign with them, and so we've just got to find the right time and funding to do it.
Yeah, but I do feel like those conversations have happened, and another thing I don't think I mentioned on here was we are with some of our event funding, because we just got it. We wanted to do some like business marketing help. So we are going to offer in July like a free marketing class to anybody that wants to come to like, how are they capitalizing on the events that are happening downtown? Are they doing the right things to market to the right people? So when we do have events, are they getting like people into their stores, and are they like getting sales up? So that's just something that's kind of been hard to know if people are you know, like doing well off of when we have events downtown. So
I think that's a really great idea, because one thing the chamber always struggles with is getting businesses on the square to buy into these events and not see them as a negative, where parking is taken and access is limited. And I've really been working on kind of the same thing of encouraging people to open your doors and bring displays out to the sidewalk and be a part of it, kind of as a vendor that day. So I love that idea. That's great.
So yeah, hopefully that'll be coming up in the middle of July.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
Well, I thank all of you for being here tonight and being able to go through this. Is helpful to us as well as we continue to update our strategic plans, and if you guys think of anything where we can help or reach out. I guess that's where I'm headed with
If we
that.
overlap anywhere,
Yeah.
then we can work together. We'd love to.
Love to. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Come back to their chairs.
Thank you. We'll see you.
They're jumping against that table. More than happy, so.
That's getting comfortable.
This chair's not bad.
Are you staying? Really?
Can I stay?
You'll have to get up and talk here in a minute. I think Tyson will want you to come to the podium if you stay out there.
That's true. Hurting. Did you injure yourself? Oh, my back is just killing me lately. Where do I find a comfortable spot? I like to just sit.
Sorry.
I'm here. It is a great view from out there, though. I see why Brian enjoys it every month.
All right, council, we'll, if everybody's ready, we'll move up to item 6. City manager's remarks and updates.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a few things. The first is, and I sent this out to council, but just to publicly thank Senator Hall for his part in getting us the $1.2 million to pay for our booster station. That's a big deal. If you remember, council, it's been about a year, but we talked about that project and the importance of it, but it took kind of a fifth place spot on our water infrastructure projects. And so it didn't get funded. So to have him come through and get that 1.2 million is a huge deal for the community. That'll increase the pressure on really the business side of town. It'll be Ditch Witch, it'll be Brahms, it'll be all the way up to Amazon, and it actually loops around and hits the new Pilot and those properties out there. So awesome deal for us. Really want to express my gratitude for that. Airport hangars, wanted to give you an update there. Some of you visited, they're basically done. What they are working on now is a change order, which is some drainage issues they ran into in the back. And so that's kind of the last step. Once they get that change order completed, which they're currently working on, then those are done and ready to go. So very close to that project.
Rented out already?
No, it hasn't been rented out already. In fact, it's in my court. I need to update the lease because we have a lease from Bryce, but I just want to make sure that the content's updated, and then I'll send it to Terrence, and he'll start going on his list and get people accounted for it. So.
I actually did a new one for another community recently that I'd like to
Oh, great.
look at the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can start planning our next one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Those are
great.
nice. I didn't realize when we were talking about that, what we were building out there. Those are nice.
Well, if there is one still empty during our event, it'd be great to have it open and use it and show it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not empty.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the airport hangar project. As far as the sidewalk project on Fur, I reached out to ODOT today just to see if there's anything else they need from me. We should be bidding that project out this month. So that was the last I heard from them, but that was a couple months ago. So I'm trying to see where that's at. Dam project. Some of you asked about how the people who live out there are going to access their houses. Once we close down that dam, they won't be able to cross it, right, for quite some time. So I've been trying to work with the county to get a plan put in place. My thought process is that they use Gunsmoke Road, which is just to south of the dam, and that links up to 25th Street, and then they can get into town through 25th Street. So that's the best route that I found, but again, trying to work with the county to figure out what that might look like.
I've had a couple of people ask, so who's responsible for the Perry Lake Road? Is Perry or is the county?
The first piece of it, and I don't know how far that is, probably half mile, is the city of Perry's. And then after that, it's a county road. Now, as far as the
And
actual...
But that's all asphalt, and they don't have asphalt machines, right?
Yeah, and that goes into a different issue, right? So that's the current jurisdiction, but then there's the issue of, well, who's gonna pave it after, right? And that is supposed to be a dual project between the city and the county. We both signed official documents saying that we're sponsors of the project, and that is one of the main roles of the sponsors. So I have not worked with the county to figure out details on that. Obviously, we've got a lot of other stuff to work on, and that's still a year into the future or so. But the plan would be to work on that jointly.
Perfect.
Any other questions on the dam project?
The hard surfacing of that road, though, is not part of the funding that we currently have.
No. That will have to come out of budget. I have it in our capital project budget 10-year plan as listed as next year.
Do we have any overlapping grants that might help with that?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think next step is get the county to engage in some conversations about kind of what that's going to look like, and then we can start collaborating on grants and other funding.
And we want to work with them, but as far as sponsorship goes, we've already put some money into that project.
A lot of them.
Yes. So it'd be nice to have some help.
Any
Absolutely.
oil and gas trucks run up and down the road?
If they do, there's that grant, but I don't know that they do enough to affect it.
What type of trucks are we looking for? Because sure, there's.
Well, Cherokee got
I'm just saying, Noble County,
$750,000, you know, and that would come in quite nice. We ought to, I mean, there are oil wells out there. We ought to see if we can maybe do something.
Do something.
I'm sure there's people that drive up and down that. I just didn't know if it required tankers or what we needed to.
I'd have to look at that grant, but one of my cities got a giant grant to redo a road that was screwed up by oil and gas activity.
Yeah, that funding's
So-
available. We've talked a few times about using it and tried to find kind of places in town that would qualify. And we haven't looked at that road specifically, but we can.
You know, that's where Charter is, you know. I mean, Nato Gusman was out there. I mean, there was a lot of oil and gas activity up there. I mean, we could try that.
That'd be fantastic. I think that's a good idea. The 5 miles of main kill outs is the next project. That's about 75% done. Some people have been asking, hey, what about my yard? You know, it still looks bad. The plan is after they finish it off, they're gonna go back and patch up all the yards at once.
And
So if you get
what
questions
percentage, I'm
about
sorry,
that.
what percentage did you say was done?
What percentage?
We
About
have-
75%.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, they're doing really well, and it's under budget so far, so it's going quite well. But if you do get questions about yard issues, yeah, they're gonna go back through after they finish and do them all at once. And then finally, sludge box project. We're doing a pre-meeting on that next week, so I'm guessing it will probably start within the next 60 to 90 days. So some good results on that too, and those are kind of the updates that I wanted to provide to you, council, unless you have any other specific questions that I can help answer.
Back on your mains, where they, I assume the same answer would go for where they've cut into the street and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that's correct. They're just putting rock right now and then they'll patch after.
Okay. And then we talked, I think, a meeting or two ago about 9th Street where we did the work there for the sewer line. And I've just noticed there's still some standing water where there used to be
Oh, you're talking over by the apartments?
Yes, there used to be a nice drainage ditch there, and I don't know that it got quite returned back to as decent as it was. I noticed there was some standing water there recently, like today, so.
I'll take a look at it. Thank you.
See if we could.
Thanks, Council.
Thank you.
Nate, you mentioned First Street, and it reminded me of it. I saw people ask me occasionally, right in front of both of the Ditch Witch driveways on First Street, there's water that continues to bubble up.
Yeah.
Is that, when that finally eats the road up, is that our responsibility or is that the state?
State, yeah, it's a state highway, and it's a water table issue, as Danette said, so we've looked for lines there, and we haven't found anything that would be on us.
One other, Scott had mentioned 8th Street, working on that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. What's the next one in priority?
Yeah, so really the plan is, once they finish the concrete on 8th, they're gonna go pretty far down with the asphalt. So the concrete's just gonna be that first half block, because that's where all those heavy trucks come in, right? But yeah, that's kind of the next priority, and it'll take some time. We actually have a map that Tyson, if you want to share my screen, I'll pull it up, because we're going to get this published on the website. Let's see, streets.
Did you guys have communication with ACE on what their intentions are as far as future?
I believe Critters talked to them. I believe so. You can double check with them. It's been a little while, because this has been in the works for obviously a while.
Okay.
So we're going to get this map published, and this kind of breaks down some of the street stuff. So if you look, and I'm sorry I can't blow it up real well because it's horizontal, or vertical. So you can see the color key. The blue is completed, yellow is pending other projects, and then green is, hey, it's on the list. We know about it. It's going to be done. So if you look, we have the completed. We've done the one over by the daycare. We've done the streets over by the J. Donlan Field. Did the Homeland Alley, and we've done the street by our streets department. And now they're working on 8th right now, so they'll go clear down 8th. Which will knock out a bunch of blocks, and then the other stuff in green, there's stuff they still have to work on. So I don't know that we've identified specifically, hey, the very next one after 8th will be this, because it's going to take a little while to do. But that kind of gives you an idea of what we have in the queue. And like I said, this will be on the website probably within the next couple weeks. Autumn has been working really hard on it. It looks really good. So,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yeah.
Any other questions for Nate? All right, we'll go to item 7, Chief Financial Officer's report.
Guys, I just have a couple of items for you. We are wrapping up the year. We adopted budget last meeting. Things are coming kind of to an end, but I want to kind of at least hit a couple of things. Before I start on that, I want to reiterate what Nate had said and what we've already heard a couple times. That extra $1.2 million that we got related to Booster Pump, that's a huge deal for us. And guys, I mean, it's one of those things that we need to make sure we say thank you because, without Senator Hall doing what he did on that, we probably would not have that money. And we do need it desperately to improve that part of the infrastructure, to improve that part of the to do some of the things related to development out there. So that was a big piece, and we are very appreciative of that. We want to make sure he knows that. So, with that being said, highlights just coming in. We're looking at the highest CPI that we've really had, in a while. Matter of fact, 4.2% was CPI. We built our budget at 3.3, so we're almost 1% higher in CPI than what we had planned on whenever we built the budget itself. our 2-year trailing. Guys, you haven't heard me say a 2-year trailing CPI in a long, long time. Up to 5.8%, which is, we'd have to go back to January of 25 to get a number that was that high as far as CPI goes. So just one of those things that we have to keep on our minds, hoping then that the Fed doesn't raise interest rates, hoping that we don't have some of those things which will just continue to compound that piece. Likewise, votes on minimum wage, will tell you will cost the city extra money. And when we start talking about those costs, that's a significant concern for me. We'll learn, well, we'll know tomorrow, where we are in that. But that's another game changer, and another piece that we don't build into our budget. We don't consider doing those kind of things. But if that does pass, we're going to have additional concerns related to those increasing wages. Mind you, they're stepping in, but over the next few years, that's going to be another big piece that we have to contend with. So
You're saying everybody should get out and vote tomorrow?
I'm saying everybody should get out and vote tomorrow. I'm not saying how you should vote, but yes, get out and vote.
Impacts our city, our community, our small businesses, it impacts all those things.
It impacts a lot of people, yes. And yeah, everybody needs to exercise their right. So get out and take care of that. So there you go. A couple of things that are on the list for that piece. Our power cost adjustment in Earl's calculation and in everything that's there. Hey, guys, I will forever give credit where credit is due. In Earl's calculation, we were less than almost a tenth of a penny in net PCA adjustment this month, which also means that OMPA is doing a great job in managing the cost, especially in these higher fuel price pieces. They've done a great job of managing that, which also helps us. And so, two things, guys. As you hear this, we do have a lot of partners that we work with. The city piece and the things that we do here don't just happen, in a vacuum with just one little person making a decision. We rely on a lot of people to help us out and to keep these things going. And we want to thank OMPA from that side for kind of keeping those things in check and doing that piece.
So does OMPA give us any kind of hint of what they think is, a lot of people are talking about power rates going up due to natural gas prices and other things. Are they starting to hint that, looking at in their crystal ball, that we could see some significant cost increases on power?
I don't know if significant's the right word, but in the meetings that I've had with them, it seems like, yeah, power is a big deal. We have the capacity and we're managing it really, really well. In terms of looking ahead, we talked about it in our last meeting, how because staff has been so proactive, they've looked ahead and really planned out in such a way that we're not going to be in trouble. We also have some policies regarding data centers and things like that will help keep the demand in check. Ultimately, power costs are rising. We went up, what was it, 4% this year? I'd probably guess something similar next year too. But a lot of it has to do with weather too. When we see the most increases in our cost of buying is when there's a natural disaster event, right? An ice storm or things like that. So some of it's out of their control.
But is an overall, long-term concern, and one of the things that again, we continue to look at. On the sales tax front, sales tax for the month of June, meaning the money that just deposited on the 10th, sales tax was up 6%, so about $270,000 for the month, good number for us. Year to date, we're down 8% over what we had in the prior fiscal year. But remember, we budgeted almost 15% down, and knowing that we were really driven in 25 by a lot of construction. We didn't know when construction was going to happen, in FY26. So hopefully FY27 will continue, and we'll see with at least 2 developments going on, plus hopefully some other construction. We'll see a rebound back up in that sales tax difference. About a $200,000 overall decrease in sales tax collections for FY '26 versus FY '25. Use tax, again, kind of mirrored that piece for the month. It was down. Use tax, though, year to date, with start of some development, construction, those kind of things, use tax was up for the year, almost 13%. So, you know, there again, we got it down, we got it up, we got a net. Between all of it, when we look at our taxes, about a 4% decline in sales and use tax in 26 versus 25. As far as the operational go, you guys have you have the financials. I will note that we do have budget amendments coming. I know that some of those got out late. By the time we got the financials finished, and then I had to go back and redo some budget amendments to make sure we stayed in compliance. I will tell you overall, all of the things that are in the budget amendments are things that you all have approved. FAA grants, construction projects related to the various pieces, the engineering on the water plant, the actual construction cost at the airport, all of those pieces were not budgeted in our initial operating budget, and that's what the significant changes are in the budget document this month. So I really don't want you to look at budget versus actuals, because you're going to see that we're over. As far as revenues go, everything is really in line and where we would expect it to be. With the budget amendments, I'd let you look at those numbers as far as totals. You will see that the net transfer out are significant this year, but remember, that's Malzahn money, and that's also the grant transfers out that have to go out because they came in on the airport to the city, have to be reported in those other funds. So that's in, out, kind of pushes it back and forth. As far as utilities go, our electric revenue is sitting at 98% right now. When we get to the budget amendments, you're going to see that we have to budget. We'll budget an increase for the last month of electric sales, but we also have to increase our wholesale cost of electricity because we keep those two in line with each other, our profit margin. So whenever we increase the revenues, we're increasing the wholesale cost of electricity also. That'll be the big budget amendment that you see related to electric. When we look at that, water at 95% of revenue and sewer revenues at 103%. So on task and right on where we really thought we were going to be for the year. So overall, we're going to finish up the year. I know we're halfway through June. I'm giving you May numbers, but we're going to finish up the year ahead of where we had planned, unless something just drastic happens and we have some natural disaster in the next 15 days. We should finish the year pretty strong. With that, do you guys have any questions?
Hotel motel on catch-up, or are we?
Hotel motel, we are okay on hotel motel. It was up for the month, but we had been behind. Yes, there was a catch-up in that deposit.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, that's not a.
Are we caught up?
We are up to date, yes.
Thank you.
For the year, we're good.
We're good for the year. Well, part of that good for the year was some carryover from prior fiscal year 25.
Right.
We got.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
Oh, I was going to give the update. Top of the fourth, the good guys are up 3-1. So anybody that's watching us instead of watching the baseball game right now.
All right.
I'm good with it.
Come on.
You'd be sore because OSU's not in there.
We'll go on to number 8.
Moving right along.
Rush, you can stay, I guess, for punishment.
For punishment.
Yeah, we may have some questions at the end of the meeting.
You have extra questions now.
All right, so we've got several items under 8. A lot of these are typical agreements. We've got a couple changes or proposals and like one new one, I believe. So bear with me here. 8A is consideration of possible approval of the contract for services and lease agreement between the City of Perry and We Are Nutrition Project for the continued operation of senior nutrition and related community services at 612 J.A. Davis Street. nothing changes on this one, right?
That's correct.
Normal agreement.
Yep.
Is there anything you'd like to say about it, or?
No, I don't think so. I think Wheatheart's done a great job for us. We provide them, with this agreement in exchange for the services they render, and I think the community benefits from that.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
All right. 8B, consideration of possible approval of the contract for services between the City of Perry and Perry Senior Citizens for continued senior citizen recreational, transportation, and nutritional services. Also believe this one is standard, not changing, right?
Yeah, standard not changing. I think the only thing I'd say is it's probably appropriate to recognize Michelle, who's our longtime senior citizen director, is retiring. She's done an amazing job and is well loved over there. We had some good applicants and have chosen a new director to replace her, but they have big shoes to fill. So.
But what?
They have big shoes to fill.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank
Do we
you,
have-
Michelle.
Do we have is there any plan for retirement party or anything?
No.
The senior citizens,
Did something.
the center, they are doing a little celebration and invited the city administration to come
Okay.
over and join as well.
Good.
So I guess you asked the wrong person.
It was just a general question.
Don't
Yeah,
ask,
that was-
don't ask men about celebrations.
I'm sure it's on my calendar, right, Chrissy?
I bet it is.
8C, consideration and possible approval of the service contract between City of Perry and Main Street of Perry for downtown revitalization and tourism-related economic development services. Also believe this one is staying.
Yep, staying the same. I won't comment a whole lot more than that, except for I think they've done a great job. I think everyone can agree. We increased this one last year, and I would recommend that we continue with the same contract.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
8D, consideration and possible approval of resolution number 2026-09, supporting the City of Perry's participation in the 2026-2027 Oklahoma Main Street Program. And this is something we do each year as well, I believe.
Yep.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
All right, AE, I believe we have a little change here. Consideration and possible approval of agreement between the City of Perry and Northern Oklahoma Development Authority, Cherokee Strip Transit for public transportation services, including an increase in monthly compensation from $450 to $1,000 per month, which I was talking to these guys earlier, and I don't think, did you say you haven't ever seen a
No,
a change?
it's been the
So
same
it's
for decades.
been 450 as long as I've been here as well, so. It's shorter than Bryce, so. Any comments or?
I was just going to remind council that they asked for this 2 years ago. We pushed them off 2 years to save a little bit of money when we were super strapped. Saved 13 grand, but I think it's time to move on it. They also gave us a reprint this last year for $300,000. I don't remember if it's $150,000 or $300,000. But either way, it was a substantial amount. So just a reminder there.
Yeah, it's a great service for our community.
Yeah, yeah, they're everywhere around.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis. Nope, sorry. Coldiron.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
And Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. 8F, consideration of possible approval of the contract between the City of Perry and the Cherokee Strip Museum for Tourism and Development Services. I believe this one's staying the same as last year.
Correct.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
8G, consideration of possible approval of contract between the City of Perry and Perry Chamber of Commerce for Tourism Development Services. Nate might have a little something here.
Yeah, small thing here. I was talking to Katie a little bit about this, and she asked if we could increase it. You remember 2 years ago, we were paying them $20,000 a year. We decreased that for a number of reasons, but one of those reasons was because they were self-funded. I think since then, it sounds like they've increased the amount they're spending each year to pour back into the community. She said last year they had a loss of expenses were greater than their revenues because of the amount of money they're putting back. And so she asked, and the board asked, that we increase this $15,000 to the $20,000. And I would leave that up to obviously council discretion. I can see it both ways. I think they've made great strides, is I guess all I'd say.
Part of the thing that was disturbing us was we were getting no report back at all on the money we were spending. That portion of it has been fixed.
And when we talked about possibly pulling that money, they said that was fine because they didn't need the money. But it sounds like they need it now.
And it just feels like the collaboration between the chamber and the rest of the community has gotten dramatically better.
Well, their relationship with Main Street has gotten drastically better.
And the museum.
And the museum.
Yeah, I will say, the director before, I don't know that we ever met consistently. Katie's really good about meeting consistently and updating me on projects and asking how else she can support the city. So I've seen a change in the last year.
I think you guys are meeting at least monthly, right?
We are.
I think that extra $5,000 would definitely fit within our strategic plan of what we're trying to do with community development and communication.
Does this come out of the general fund?
Yes, it's funded out of the general fund. We fund it in economic development. Right now, I think there's about $95,000 worth of these contracts that we pay out. 15 of that in those contracts is actually grant money that we've budgeted this year. So, if you take 5, we could either take down the hotel motel, we pull that out of the economic development piece, or just look at reassigning part of those dollars that we have set aside for grants or other things.
So we have it.
You have it. It's your discretion.
The grant, downtown grant, that's the only thing that we kind of offset when we, isn't that the only thing that we, is that making any sense, what I'm asking?
You'll ask one more time.
When we went from 20 and we went down, we also implemented a grant for downtown.
That's
And
right.
I think that was
Yeah.
coming out of the same kind of buckets, but.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we still have 10,000 left of that 15,000 allocated. We have one more applicant who I think will qualify and probably will get paid 5,000 in the next several weeks. And that still leaves us with 5,000. So, we could pull from that. We'll save 5,000 in capital over the year. Our directors are amazing. So you definitely have the money to do this.
I would move we approve that with that amendment to change it from 15 to 20,000.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 8H, consideration and possible approval of a contract for services between the City of Perry and David Payne for planning and zoning consulting services as assistant to the Perry Planning Commission.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
8I, consideration and possible approval of the law enforcement assistance agreement between the City of Perry, Noble County, and Noble County Sheriff Matt McGuire regarding law enforcement authority on certain city-owned properties located outside the Perry corporate limits. I believe we have an agreement that renews every year. Got maybe some updates this year.
Yeah, that's correct. We'll keep Bryce from telling you about it because he's excited about this, but we'll.
Stealing this,
But
He was.
we had some updates at the state level, and in order to bring our old contract up to date with those adjustments, he's made those adjustments. The county has agreed to consider this on their Monday agenda for today, which would have been this morning. I'm not sure what the result was, but there wasn't any concerns when I talked to Chris. So this is that newly polished version of the same agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
And Williams.
Yes.
This chair ready for that.
8J, consider approval of agreement with Bryce S. Kennedy, City Trust Attorney, and Oklahoma Municipal Law, LLC.
Yeah, this is a new one. So, council, you've brought up several times to me about getting an agreement put in place with Bryce. For many, many years, 40 years, he's served as the attorney and done a phenomenal job for us. Everyone who comes onto this council, I think, has seen very quickly the value that Bryce brings. And he's done it all without an agreement. But as he gets closer to retirement, not meaning tomorrow, I want the public to be aware that he doesn't have that, planned out. But as he gets closer to retirement, we're thinking ahead and thinking, okay, well, if we replace him, we would probably want a contract in place that had some provisions for our next attorney. And in an effort to begin doing that, we're recommending this approval for this contract. Basically, it keeps almost everything the same as how we've had it with Bryce. The big change, there's two big changes. The first is that we offer him indemnity, which is typical for municipal attorneys, but he's never had. And then the second is, on our side, we actually get all of his Perry documents when he leaves. We own those. So those will transfer to us when he retires. So. Any questions on the agreement for Bryce?
Bryce, how do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel great about it. I mean, I really do, although I don't have any present intent wanting to retire. I really enjoy the work,
Yes.
And, Perry has always been the number one thing in my heart. I've always put Perry first. It's kind of timely because Max Adams came to my office 40 years ago. And, he just, I guess, recently passed.
Yesterday.
And he came in, I was city attorney, Vinny came into the Enid office and said, how would you like to work for Perry? And I'd, of course, driven by Perry, but I don't know that I'd ever stopped here. And I said, heck yes. And it gave me all kinds of trouble over there. The Rotary Club did a whole letter to the editor. We have a full-time Enid lawyer. Why is he working for Perry? And everybody in the Rotary Club signed it. It was just, of course, I always got lots of those presents in Enid from haters. But this was the Rotary Club, But I think after we, created everything that we created over there in the 14 years I was over there, they got over it. But You know, what I told him there is, you know, if I quit one, it's not going to be Perry. You know, I mean, that's what I told him, because I just really have always enjoyed it here. So yeah, I mean, it's exactly what we've got now, with the exception, I mean, I've been running Bear. That isn't to say if you got sued, you know, OMAG, they will protect the city attorney. And of course, I didn't, you know, my rule is you don't let the city indemnify you, so it's only the entity that has the ability to indemnify you, but you have the ability, you have the insurance. And I could tell you in 40 years, you've never been sued because of a mistake that I've made, and I could tell you that you've never lost a case in 40 years too. So I've tried to keep you out of court, to tell you the truth. So
I think you've done a very well job.
appreciate that.
Thank you, and thank you for you guys working on this together.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
I think we've wrapped up 8. Item 9.
Kind of things. So, you know, just quick, start at the top. You know, I promise I won't hit all of these, but you know, the big numbers, the 972,000, that's mainly sales tax increase and additional grant money coming in the FAA. The big expenditure there is the $1.1 million related to capital outlay in the general government. That general government piece, you know, various things from the engineering related to the water treatment plant, 25th Street, the water system design overall, also Park Hill for the hangar and the construction on that, the tower addition purchase, you know, this is almost the state of the city address, you know, I mean, whenever we go back and talk about all the things that we've accomplished this year. But a lot of those, they all end up in the general government piece and flowing through there. The rest of the changes are, you'll find pretty minimal, and the net increases or decreases honestly wouldn't have even had to be brought back to you. Those are at Nate's purview. He can do those things. Within the budget, you can move between departments. We just can't add additional revenues, which is what I was doing here. That's why we have to actually bring this to you, or move money between funds, and that he couldn't do. The other thing that really doesn't fall within his purview would have been, and I mentioned it on the electric side, additional electric revenue of about $500,000, additional wholesale electric cost of about $400,000. Again, a conservative budget number on the revenue side. We will probably have more revenue than that, but I don't want to overstate where we're going to be. And this keeps us within our budget numbers and where we want to stay. Everything else is more departmental, moving things in between where they need to be, and just keeping based on where we expended it versus where we probably had budgeted it originally. So that's what I have on budget amendments.
Is that something we can do with one motion?
Yes.
What do you think, Austin?
I make a motion to approve the budget amendments.
What I'm talking about.
Go.
I'll second that.
Nice.
And Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes. Top of the 5th, good guys still up 4-2.
Item 10. Consider approval of a policy governing animals at BMAC Ballpark and other city recreational facilities, including the prohibition of pets and the accommodation of service animals as required by the Americans with Disabilities Act. Who'd like to start with that, Nate?
Yeah, happy to jump in. So this is becoming an increasing problem, not just in local governments, but kind of everywhere in businesses around the country. Is people will bring their pets in the store and call it an emotional support animal, right? Which I appreciate that, you know, animals can provide emotional support. I have a dog myself. I love my dog. But my dog is not trained to ADA standards to provide a service according to ADA. It's not a blind dog. It doesn't, you know, do all the other things that that would be listed under that American with Disabilities Act. And we're having issues at particularly our ballparks where people will bring their animal, and as an excuse just to get it in, they'll say, oh, it's my emotional support parrot or dog or whatever. And this policy establishes a really clear no pets allowed rule and gives staff some really clear guidance on things they can ask, things they can't ask when it comes to people bringing animals into the park, the ballpark. So that being said, this is obviously something you will get calls about as a council, right? If they turn away someone and Fido, people are going to be mad. You know, they love their pets, and I get that. Like I said, I have one too. But this is something that ultimately the council has to be behind if we're going to apply it. So wanted to bring it before you as a legislative adjustment.
So does this mean like city parks too?
No, this is specifically for BMAC and other city recreational facilities. I don't think it doesn't apply to parks, right, Bryce?
No, it's the city of Perry through the operation of BMAC ballpark maintains a no pets allowed policy inside that. That's what the policy is directed towards.
Yeah.
That's the only.
That'd be the baseball.
That's the only application under the policy.
I assume that'd be within the fenced-in area?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Stadium facilities, seating area, concession areas, restrooms, offices, fields, and related municipal property. But it's within the fence. I mean, you can be outside the fence.
So are the softball fields ours?
They are, but they're not used by us. They're used just by the
School.
The school.
Okay. Well, they're not part of BMAC.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
So
I
the
just was worried that we weren't going to protect them.
I got you.
But if we're not operating anything there, it's not pertinent.
Yeah, and I mean, a great question, because we do encourage people to bring their dogs to the park. You know, we also encourage people to clean up after their dogs at the park. But yeah, absolutely, bring your dogs to the park. Bring your dogs to BMAC, but stay on the outside, you know, and keep them on a leash like you're supposed to, or have a trained service animal.
I think one of the concerns out there would be people bring in an RV or something and stay in the night for tournaments. They have to have a place to let their pets go, so outside the fence.
Yep. Yeah, you can switch off watching outside the fence, still watch your kid or grandkid play, but have your dog out there too.
In my mind, we've got a higher obligation to the kids and parents that are out there to not be bit.
Or barked at, or, you know, they're in a public space.
Interfered with.
Yep.
Disrupt the ball game because they run out on the field.
Which I guess there could be a conversation there about on leash or not, because I do believe
We do have a leash law.
we do have a leash. That's why I was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and that's why I encourage people, you know, come to the parks with your dog, but yeah, they have to be on a leash at all of our parks.
Motion to approve the policy governing animals at BMAC ballpark.
Second.
Coffee?
Yes.
Bledsoe?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Goldar?
yes.
Rupp?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Okay. Item 11. Authorize Gary May to conduct the 4th of July fireworks celebration at Perry Lake.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Man, that was fast.
Every year.
We do appreciate this.
We do appreciate
Yes.
Gary.
And that's why you were so quick.
Right,
Absolutely.
But absolutely.
And it's probably worth mentioning, Gary asked specifically that we recognize Tom Davis for his part in this. He asked us that we do that publicly as we discuss this. So.
Sorry.
No, that's just fine. I get why you did it. You know, we're all excited. but-
Absolutely.
So Coffee,
Yes.
Bledsoe,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Calderon,
Yes.
Rupp,
Yes.
and Williams.
Yes.
Maybe we could do something to honor him at the, or, you know, Tom Davis fireworks show or something. You know.
Yeah, I
Sure.
like that idea.
Both of them have been involved
I
with
just said they've both been doing it a long
for a
time.
long, long time. All right. Thank you, guys. Item 12. Consider approval of joint resolution number 2026-10 of the City of Perry, Oklahoma and Noble County, Oklahoma, authorizing the submission of an Oklahoma 911 Management Authority NG 911 grant application, committing local matching funds and authorizing execution of grant documents.
Yeah, so we've been working a long time on this, probably a year, to get agreements lined up, budgets lined up, quotes lined up. It's going to be a complete revamp of our E911 equipment to update really antiquated equipment and also to bring some new modernization into it with like text 911 and things like that. The state provides a 80% grant funding for the first year, and because of that, really it's pretty much a wash for us because we're already paying a certain amount every month, and they're going to help cover that, which covers our match basically. So it's a fantastic deal for us. Really excited to finally get this going. I think Chief and Sheriff McGuire would say the same thing. This has been something that's so needed, and we're finally ready to apply for it.
I think we've been needing it over 4 or 5 years even. There is a deadline if we don't, right? Like we have to be on this equipment by a certain time frame? Is that,
It's coming to where it's going to be mandated throughout the state that
Okay.
everybody has to.
gotcha.
Motion to approve joint resolution 2026-10.
Second.
Coffee,
Yes.
Bledsoe,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Calderon,
Yes.
Rupp,
Yes.
Williams.
Item 13, consideration, discussion, and possible action to adopt resolution number 2026-11, the public of the publication of supplement number 1 to the Perry Municipal Code 2022, establishing the purchase price of the supplement and directing required statutory filings pursuant to 11 OS 14-109 and 14-110. I believe that's Chris.
That's it. It's done.
And I was told we all have to read this before we leave tonight.
Out loud.
Well, I was gonna have you do that for us, Russ.
That's why I'm standing.
Now, what we can do is, if you want it, we can email each one of you a copy of it in Word. If you want to have it on your computer, you can search it, but it's up through, the latest ordinance that we've done. It's got all the rates in it, and it's easy to bounce around if you want any, use any keywords in it. So it is finished.
So will it be on the website at some point?
Yes. Yeah, we're working right now to leave American Legal Publishing because we don't like their formatting and how we have to maintain things through them, and do something similar to a Word document where people can just pull it up. But it would be a PDF, obviously.
Any other questions, council?
Motion to approve resolution 2026-11.
Second.
Coffee,
Yes.
Bledsoe,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Calderon,
Yes.
Rupp,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
All right. Item 14, approval of 2026 fee schedule. If there's fee changes here, maybe.
There are, yeah. So I reviewed this with each one of you during our budget work sessions, where we talked about the new formatting of the fee schedule, that being part of the American Legal Publishing issue that we're having, right? It's just very difficult to navigate, it's difficult to maintain. So we're in the process of doing that, and part of that process is to update all of our old fees. Some of them have not been updated for many, many years, and so we're losing money on those fees. Luckily, most of these things don't happen very often, so it really hasn't been like a big deal, but it would be bad management to keep that in place, right? So this has been something that's been on my list for quite some time. So if you look at the document that you have in front of you, which is the unapproved fee schedule, this obviously doesn't include all of the city fees that I'm talking about. That document will come later. You've approved most of those fees already on there. But this document you have in front of you is just the things that have not been approved so far. So they're either new fees or they're fees that we're recommending we update costs or prices on. So for example, airport, those 4 new hangars, those are brand new hangars, we need to implement a fee for those. So the recommendation is $500 monthly rent for each one of those. Community development, I emailed you earlier, that's still pending. That's the one that we don't have finished yet, but it's close. Electric, there's the testing electric meters. Over the years, that cost has increased, and now we have to pay the testing and the shipping. And so the recommendation is, hey, we should charge for that, right? The full amount that we have to pay if they want to do that. Fire and EMS, you can see quite a few updates there on emergency transfers and things. Ben's looked into these and has seen, we can actually make more money, we can charge more, and insurance will pay out more for these various transfers.
What's the difference between ALS and BLS?
It's the
Advanced life support, basic.
Advanced and basic.
Yep. Okay. So we're leaving money on the table by not having these updated. So the thought process is let's update those. False automatic business alarms. We already have something in place for police. Wanted to implement something with fire. If they get called out multiple times to a business, we want the ability to say, hey, if you don't fix your alarm, we're going to start charging you because we have to dispatch this every time that it goes off, right? Parks and Rec, you can see the recommendation for disinterments is going from $1,000 to $1,500 to help cover the costs that we have for that. Streets and stormwater, quite a few new fees. That's been a department that's been kind of overlooked when it comes to fees and charges. So quite a few new ones that we're looking at: right-of-way work permits, driveway permits for residential, driveway permits for commercial, street alleyway closure permits. You can see most of these aren't very expensive, but the idea is to make sure that somebody at the city is made aware, and so that they can oversee the work and make sure that it's done in accordance with our standards, right? And so that's a big piece of this. Drainage fees, you can see there's a culvert inspection fee. So again, minimal dollars, but it allows us the ability to enforce and say, hey, you have to actually tell us when you're doing this so that we can inspect it, right? And then the connection permit of $75. So these are things that other cities have that just for many years we have not had, and staff recommendation is to implement those fees.
We've looked at this and made sure that we're kind of in range with.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah,
the water and sewer taps, and it's been a few years since I did that, but it seems fine. But
yeah, they're
sure
not. We looked at Stillwater, we looked at Guthrie, we looked at Edmond, and we tried to stay competitive in those aspects with those cities. So you were talking about water and sewer taps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are the biggest jumps that you see, and the reason why is just because we haven't done it for so many years, so we've fallen behind. Like I said, we only do like maybe 5 or 6 a year, so it hasn't been a huge deal. But
we get ready to do a lot more than that.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more, and it's just, I mean, why would you do something that you're just losing money. It's like, yeah, we'll do that for you. We're just lose money on it. You know, it's like, no, if they want it done, they have to pay to get this done. And so we looked at, like I said, we looked at 3 other cities, and these were very much in line with what they were charging with water and sewer taps. So.
Well, Rural Water District 2 would charge you more than that for a tap.
Like I said, it's been 4 years since I was building, but at that time, we were a little lower than some of the other cities we were building in, but not that much. But it's probably all changed over the years.
So Nate, damage to public infrastructure, did that include a tree falling on a power line, or what kind of stuff are you looking at? The fee is full cost plus 20%.
Typically that, no, I mean, really unless they knew about the tree and were being negligent, right? Like, oh, that tree's falling over.
Hit a guardrail.
Hit a telephone pole, yep.
Where there's insurance, something like that. I mean, an act of God or something wouldn't be, but, you've got to be able to collect when you're hit a sign, hit a pole. A lot of those are vehicular issues.
Yep. And we've had some.
And we haven't had anything, and should.
I don't know, I don't recall, but when we implemented automatic meters, we implemented some code and things around those. Did we make sure that this cost of the meter doesn't contradict anything in that?
Yeah, if it's about the automatic meters, that's already handled by another section.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Bryce has gone through and reconciled all of this with.
I have.
Okay.
Yep. And the last big one is bulk water rates. So you can see that was a large jump there. We've been very, very generous on that for many, many years. I've heard people will drive from Tulsa to get bulk water from Perry because we're so low. So the idea is just to bring this up to a reasonable standard, such as Stillwater or Guthrie have. But that's kind of the last big one after taps.
I think on our bulk, we don't really meter it that well, do we?
Yeah, we do. We have stations that have meters, and then we also, if those aren't available or they're too far away for them to want to use, we have a system where they put a deposit down for a meter, we'll hook it up to a hydrant, and then they can use that.
Good.
So, yeah.
I don't think we're doing the meter on a hydrant anymore, though, because it's costing too much for the meters.
Gotcha. But that is
Because
something.
Vernon said, and they're breaking them. I mean, they have to pay for them if they break it, but.
I thought at one time there was a discussion about a lot of our bulk water was honor
On the honor
system.
system.
It is, basically. You believe that when they're going out there and up to that meter at the hydrant out there at the water plant, that they're actually sending you in their readings.
And I'm good with us charging what we should be charging, but we also need to be able to charge what we need to be charging.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough system because you only have a few options, really. It's like you can do they have kiosks that you can install, but then you have to think about cost, right? Cost of installation, of maintenance of the actual kiosk.
Well, it's all about ROI. How long before you get your return on that?
Well, and there's got to be a method or way. I mean, I've been on thousands of job sites where a drill company is going to a fire hydrant with a meter hooked to it, and they're filling their water tanks. So I mean, other cities are doing it. So there's got to be a way to do it and be effective doing it.
Yeah, you cite them if they break the rules, right? Say, hey, if you're not going to be honest, then you're going to pay for it. And cities have things like that.
So do we need to include something like that in this?
Maybe, I don't have a good recommendation of what that would look like, but maybe we should add something. I know just
The rule's
recently.
not a rule unless there's a penalty for that rule.
You're right, and just recently, I won't name names, publicly because I don't want to embarrass anyone, but there's been people on recent projects that have pull from our hydrants without meters. We had to go out there and say, hey, stop doing that, you can't do that. And they should have known better.
If there's no
They never
penalty
did.
for it, then you can do it, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, and as I've talked about, that those guys are more than eager to get the meter because the penalty for doing it otherwise must be big.
Right.
Yeah, I'm totally open to implementing something. I don't have a good recommendation for that tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
The only thing I noticed was on page 2, I guess, the testing electric meters was in there. It looks like twice. Was that meant to be 2 separate things, or?
Let me see it real quick. Is it page 2?
Yeah.
First
top.
electric.
Yeah, just repeat it.
Meter test.
Look, I didn't.
I couldn't tell if there's supposed to be a difference or if it's just.
There it is. Cost of testing plus shipping.
That's how we charged 1078 or 2078.
No, that, I think that's a repeat.
Well, if we're gonna charge it the same.
Charge
It's
it
like one
twice.
We're competitive.
That'd be
What's that?
that'd be 2078. Well, we charge you twice.
Whatever you want.
That's in the ordinance.
Look at our low cost. We're half what Stillwater is.
Until you get your bill.
Quantity 2. Yeah, that's a duplicate. So make the motion without the duplicate, certainly.
So, did we decide we wanted to come back with a penalty, or is that actually just theft? It could be handled.
That's something, I'll have to talk to Bryce about it. I think, I would say go ahead. I mean, we'll have something soon for you with the community development stuff anyways, so we could just bring it back at that time. I'm putting it in my notes right now.
Know that the
What was it?
charge would be part
On the
of
bulk water?
the fee
Mhm.
schedule. That'd be part of, what? Or the fines.
For the
The
fines,
fines, yeah. So, yeah, it would be a fine, not a fee.
Right.
Any other questions on these fees?
And so the stuff we're striking at the bottom of the second to last page and the last page, those are.
Things we don't do anymore. Yep. Yep, so we don't allow like the septage fees, we don't allow people to dump at our sewer treatment plant anymore. I think that's an annual night septage fee. Yep.
I'll move we accept the new fee schedule with the elimination of the duplication on the electric meter inspection. Testing.
Second.
Coffee.
Waiting on. Here. Yes.
Got him screwed up.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
I'm ready for the
Yes.
next meeting.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
All right, we did 15, we'll jump to 16. Any new business? Seeing none, motion to adjourn, or we'll adjourn. And then we'll move on to PMA. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of Perry Municipal Authority at 7:59. Roll call, please.
Coffee.
Here.
Bledsoe.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Davis. Coldiron.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
O'Shea. Wortham.
All right, we have a quorum. Item number 1, consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Item number 4, comments from those assembled. Have none. Item number 5, consider approval of budget amendments for the FY 25-26 budget year. And this just doing the same thing we did earlier.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Coffee.
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Any new business? Nope. We'll adjourn. And we will go on to the PFA agenda. Am I going too fast, Christie?
Nope.
All right. I'd call to order the regular meeting of Perry Facilities Authority at 8:01. Roll call, please.
Coffee.
Here.
Bledsoe.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Davis. Goldar.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
O'Shea. Worthing.
All right, item number 1, consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And
Yes.
Coffee. Bledsoe.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
All right. Comments from those assembled? All right. Item 5, new business. All right. Adjourn. Everybody vote yes.